Hello, friends on YouTube. When it comes to the Tao Te Ching, many people know it is a classic Taoist text. However, the global status and reputation of this classic is something that many do not expect. The Tao Te Ching is referred to as the Bible of the East by Westerners. Many European families have two classics at home. One is the Bible, and the other is the Tao Te Ching. According to statistics from UNESCO, the Tao Te Ching's global circulation is on par with the Bible's. Those who have read the Bible often find it abstruse and difficult to understand. When hearing some interpretations, they often feel it is profound upon profound. It seems they understand something, but they often become even more confused. As a result, this precious classic of Chinese culture has always been difficult to integrate into the lives of ordinary people. For this reason, the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching seems to have become a spiritual luxury enjoyed only by some elite individuals. This presents a problem. Is there a way to make the Tao Te Ching a spiritual commodity for the general public? Personally, I have enjoyed poetry since childhood. In history, there is a great poet who is also my idol, because his poems are very down-to-earth. His Song of Constant Regret has been passed down and sung for 1,000 years since its creation. In the heavens I wish to be paired birds, on the earth I wish to be twin branches, has become a classic expression of true love for many of us. In the famous poem, The Lute Girl's Rhapsody, it says, after thousands of calls, she finally emerges, still clasping the lute, her face half turned. This line is extremely well known. It is said that as a great poet, he had the habit that after writing a poem, he would recite it to illiterate elderly women. If they could not understand it, he would continue to revise until they could, before finalizing the poem. This great poet, who had such a touching empathy for the common people and whose poems were so down-to-earth, was Bai Juyi. He carried the people in his heart, and his poems resonated with them as well, earning their adoration. For this reason, Bai Juyi also became an idol worshipped by a minor literati like myself. In fact, I also come from an ordinary family background. I have been self-studying the Tao Te Ching for over 20 years. To be frank, self-studying classics like the Bai is relatively easy, but truly self-studying the Tao Te Ching is very difficult. Decades ago, when studying the Tao Te Ching, it was not easy to find suitable teachers to consult when encountering problems. This is because I was not satisfied with just understanding the literal translations of the words. I was also very fascinated by the methods of practical cultivation, because I knew that classic works are not simply knowledge, but the wisdom to apply to life, and are a form of life cultivation. So for us living in this world, how can we both understand the meaning and cultivate accordingly? Over the past many years, this issue has plagued me and been a difficulty I wanted to break through. Like many friends, I study the Tao Te Ching in order to be able to apply it, not treat it as pure academics. I think when Lao Tzu originally wrote the Tao Te Ching, it was also for people to be able to apply it to life to elevate their wisdom. For this reason, I never gave up any opportunity to consult with people from all walks of life, greatly benefiting from their insights. Through over a decade exploring the path of cultivation, absorbing the experiences of many teachers and masters, gaining their wisdom, I have also been striving to develop an integrated understanding. I have used my own life as a sample in cultivation, working on my own life. For this, I have also accumulated some effective methods. This time, taking advantage of the great opportunity provided by the YouTube platform, I would like to engage in an exchange with you fellow philosophy lovers, Tao Te Ching researchers and cultivators, to seek guidance. In this interpretation of the Tao Te Ching, I will proceed according to 3 principles. First, to be faithful to the essential thought of Lao Tzu's great Tao, presenting the core wisdom to everyone. Second, considering the stages of learning the Tao and cultivation, following the principle of gradual progress, focusing first on the core principles without deliberately striving for literal, word-for-word interpretation. Doing so will also help focus on the core and key points of the Tao Te Ching. Third, to closely connect to our actual life, combining Lao Tzu's wisdom with the pain points and blind spots in our lives. Striving for each chapter to impart a few principles that can be applied in our lives, effectively improving our quality of life and optimizing our wisdom. At first glance, the content of each chapter of the Tao Te Ching may seem different, but it all revolves around one core point, transcending the limitations of the subjective self, allowing life to be close to the objective natural Tao. Realizing the profundity of objective laws beyond subjective feelings. In reality, life is about allowing the finite subjective to accord with the infinite objective, the victory of spirit over matter. liberating our souls from the shackles of the small self, materiality, and external things, completing the journey of spiritual freedom in this life. There is a renowned saying in the world of cultivation: the heart dies, the spirit lives. This means once we can perceive the limitations and errors of our subjectivity, to the point of being able to control and resolve them with wisdom, accordingly following objective laws, we can transcend the traps of the self and walk the bright path of life. In short, the desire to bring the Tao Te Ching into the homes of ordinary people is about linking Lao Tzu's wisdom to life, and then entering each of our lives and souls from life. Think about the development path we have walked, first resolving issues of food and shelter, then enriching our spirits. This accords with the principle of being able to afford luxuries only after meeting basic needs. Let us together, under the guidance of the wisdom in the Tao Te Ching, the Bible of the East, transform bitterness into joy, difficulty into ease, complexity into simplicity, realizing the ideal of the great Tao simplicity.